welcome to the Wise Coffee Chat Show. Super excited to be here this morning with our guest. I'm super excited to have her because I've actually tasted her food. She's a chef.
Yes.
But before we go into details with her, my name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of Wise Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy. I also have a networking community. I put on conferences, retreats. I'm a real estate investor. So if anyone's looking to sell their property for cash, let me know 30 days or less. And I'm a mom of three beautiful girls, so 18, 11, and 6. So I am a busy person. And I'm the director of career services here at Illinois Media School. So that is who I am. I will pass over the mic now to my guest to briefly introduce herself.
Yes, my name is Chef LaSandra, well, formerly LaSandra Armstrong. I am an entrepreneur and a traveling chef, and I am the co-owner of Sans Kitchen and Catering, and we service pretty much everything, from catering to meal prep, all of everything, food service and hospitality. We pretty much cover it all.
I love that. I know I met you at an event called Chingonas and Poderosas.
Yes.
You were the chef there for the event. Remind me, I remember, I feel like there was something jerk, but I might be wrong. Am I right or am I wrong? Or there was something with shrimp.
No
No?
shrimp. I think you did the beef slider.
That's what okay,
Yes.
you remember what I ate then. Okay,
Yes.
good. But I do remember the food was yummy. I remember I remember I had a good impression. You had a great vibe.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited that you came today on the show and just wanted to share about what you do. So tell us a little bit about how you got into the world of cooking, right? What how did this all start for you?
Well, it's a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. The beginning is very funny. So, when I was about 6 or maybe 7 years old, if you guys know about like making ramen noodles, right? So I decided to take a bowl and put ramen noodles in there. Guess what? I forgot the most important thing, H2O. And I
Oh,
started to heat it up and almost blew my house down.
oh.
So my parents, my siblings are coming out like, "What's going on? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's my fault because I did not put water in the bowl to make my noodles." So that's the funny begin like the start of the chaos.
A ramen noodle.
So sorry, Robin. And then after that, I used to always see like my mom and my mom actually had a babysitter for me from the time I was 6 months old to about second grade. And she would always just make everything from scratch, from red velvet cake to cornbread, chicken, everything. But at that time, I was a picky eater. So it's just all funny, conversions going on here, right?
How old were you at that time?
So I believe what second grade is.
Like about 6 or 7.
Yeah. So I used to always see her, like I said, make different meals throughout the day. Like she would cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, like supper. Like it would just be so much food all the time. But I would always see her make, nothing. Like she would have just maybe three ingredients and she would just make this big extravagant meal. But I was always picky. So I always liked my food separated. But she was from down south. So if you know anyone from down south, you're not leaving the table until you finish your food.
Oh, okay.
Period, point blank. So I had a lot of issues with that, but I used to always like the creativity that she brought to
Okay.
cooking. So I started, helping her out over that time, and then I started practicing myself at home. After that, I was in high school and I took all like the culinary classes to the point where they were
Very
exhausted.
nice. What high school did you go to?
I went to Joliet West High School. Shout out to the
Oh,
Tigers.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, so I took them all till it was exhausted. So then I started practicing at home again.
Okay.
So I would always bring stuff to school and everything like that. And then I continued on and told my parents, I really want to do culinary. I'm not sure exactly like what I want to do, like open up a restaurant, but I want to get in culinary school just to see, you know, what I make out of it. My parents, supported me throughout that process, and yeah, I just kept going. And now I'm here, just traveling all
Wow.
over the place, and just giving people a one of a kind experience. So
I love that. Is cooking one of your love languages? Because I know some people love to cook, like it's a love language for them. And at least I know for me it is.
I would say yes, but because I do cook a lot, sometimes I like just take me to a restaurant, a real nice one. I like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like you get tired. I've heard of
Yeah.
that. I heard that chefs are usually like they don't want to eat their own food because they cook so much afterwards, or like they rather someone else cook, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I don't mind cooking after I work, especially now, because it's so many different things going on with food.
Okay.
And when it comes down to that, it's like I would rather just trust myself before I trust, a complete stranger
Oh,
sometimes. So
absolutely. That I love that. So what are your favorite before we take a quick break, what are your favorite dishes that you enjoy making?
I would say my favorite would be I love seafood. So a seafood boil just soothes my soul. And probably like I love to make these garlic lamb chops. Like garlic herb lamb chops are my favorite as well.
Oh wow. So that sounds yummy and I'm already hungry. So you guys make sure that you guys will come back. We're going to take a short break and then talk more with LaSandra about her journey and her experience as a chef. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
Is
Are back and super excited to be on the show with LaSandra. What is the name of the business again, LaSandra?
Yes, it's Sans Kitchen and Catering Company.
So you were sharing that before we went on commercial break, how you went into the entire your store was really you were a picky eater growing up, right?
Yes.
And you were sharing how your mom, she made so much food and different varieties, but you always had to get your food made separately. Am I correct?
Yeah, so like if anybody that has had southern style food, when you have greens, you like to have cornbread with it. Me, I like the cornbread to the side and then have my greens like on another plate or something. Like most people like mix it together and eat it and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want that."
Wow. So you said your favorite food to make is seafood, you said, right?
Yes, I'm a seafood eater.
Seafood. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, the food that you like to prepare and why you like to prepare it, for your clients.
I would say for me, I like to be challenged. I love to have variety. I don't like to be always stuck in a consistent routine. Even with the clients that I currently have and that I do private chef services with, I always make sure that I do a lot of research and I dig really deep to give them difference. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that it's still within the preferences and dietary needs that they requested, but
Sure.
also making sure that, they enjoy it and it's still full of flavor and healthy for them.
Nice. And you travel with this, correct?
Yes. So, me and my business partner, and I have a team of others, we actually travel. So, we provide services such as wait staff, really, like I said, just anything you need, we pretty much have. Even if you're in a situation where, hey, I need an event planner, I need a DJ, I need this, we always have connections and third party vendors we work with to enhance the opportunity to make sure that it's seamless for the client.
Wow. Okay, so you like to travel, but you also do a lot of event planning. You have an event planning service kind of as
Yeah,
well?
in a way, I would say it's it's pretty much just giving like a one-stop shop opportunity.
Sure.
So if I'm speaking with the client over the phone, I ask a lot of questions such as, if there's any other things that they may need, and just ensuring them and let them know that I have reliable professional services to help assist them with making sure that their event or whatever they're planning at that current time is seamless and that they don't have to worry about that because we would take care of it.
That's wonderful. So I love the concept. How long have you been in business now?
Well, I just revamped last year. So I've been in business probably since 2019.
Oh, that's been okay. You've passed the 5 year, right? You passed the 5 year mark. So I don't know if you knew, but like the statistically, most businesses fail by the fifth year, and you've passed that mark. So that's congratulations,
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
Because a lot of people don't know that if the 5 year mark hits, and Most people just it's hard. It's hard being an entrepreneur, and you do this full time, correct?
Correct.
How do you like being just full time entrepreneur? What's your take on that?
I actually love it. I'm right now I'm still just kind of finding my rhythm because I have been going through a lot of different transitional periods, but I feel like because my business partner is my fiance,
Oh,
so
that's nice.
he makes it a lot easier and lifts the load kind of off of me where, maybe it's an event coming up where some people contact us last minute. Yes, they do.
Of course.
And he kind of lightens the load where, if we need staff, if we need certain things, he handles it, whether it's grocery shopping, whatever it is, he's on it and he's highly involved. So,
I love that, partners that get together and do business together, right? So he is your counterpart, who's your fiance, helps you run the business. How do you make that work? Now I'm just curious, like, how does that, because like I've always heard that it's a great thing or it could be like a big no. Like, how have you found that balance?
I would say making sure that both parties are mature and understand that knowing the vision and what we're really trying to do together on the not just on the personal side but on the business side. So like if I'm upset with him about something, there is no way in the world I'm going any facility, anyone's home, anyone's place with any bad energy, vibe or aura because I'm understanding that we're focusing on something big here. This is something important for someone else. And if this was my event, would I want two people coming in here,
Oh, grouchy.
all grouchy or just with an attitude? And I'm very big on my spiritual life too.
Okay.
I feel like what how your emotions and how you move throughout your day can factor really big into your food.
Uh,
So
Oh
that's
my
really
goodness.
important.
You know why I love that? My grandma one time, she told me that because I don't know, we were having a conversation and of course grandmas always make the dishes best, right? They
Yeah.
come from grandma and great grandma. And then when you take on the dish, it might taste a little bit different. And I just remember like, I was getting frustrated, like, why can't this dish come out the way I want it to come out? Right. Like I'm looking, and she was like, you have to put your love into it. And I was like, what you mean? She's like, if you're cooking and you're cooking fast, Jennifer, and you're kind of just trying to get something out there just to feed, because sometimes as a busy mom, you're kind of just trying to, especially when I was married, just shove food down people's throat. Like, you know what? Just feed and don't die, right? Be
Mm,
alive. We just got to go on the next day, right?
right.
Um, but I remember she said when you're making a meal, you really enjoy it, enjoy the process, put your love in it, take your time with it. The meal will come out much better. And ever since then, I always take that into consideration. And I'm just like, wow. So when you said put your energy in it, I truly believe that that's part of it. Like even Mexicans have this saying, like the way you make the salsa, if you're mad, it's gonna come out spicier.
Yes.
Yeah, that's happened to you.
Yeah, I actually in my past experience, I've worked with a lot of my colleagues were Mexican and that I learned a lot of different things from and learning how to make the salsa spicy but smoky and tricks to doing that and all of that stuff. So they always used to say that like slow down, Lysandra, you don't have to move so fast. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good experience. So now I think about it's like when I cook, I like people to eat my food. If I love you and I cook for you, like I'm gonna try to make it. I want you to have a good experience. That's for me, right?
Mhm.
I don't cook for everybody. So like if I'm cooking, I'm like, I really like you.
Yeah.
If I
You said I love you.
I love you, if I but I do like it to be an experience for that person, right? Like, okay, what's your favorite dish? I might make, I don't know, chilaquiles or lasagna or enchiladas. Like those are my favorite things to make,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's why I was curious to find out your take on that. So now that you are here, you're doing your business with your fiance, right? What are some stories you can share with us on experiences of like where you were like, this is it. Like this was my moment. I know I'm supposed to be doing this.
I would say more so the clients and God drives me. It's been a lot of times where even though I've done a lot of revamping and taking a lot of breaks in between and getting a job because I feel like, it's getting a little tough and maybe things aren't going my way. So, oh, now I got to go, get a job. Maybe, maybe I just need to do that. Literally every job I've had, it has not worked.
Oh,
It
wow.
it literally has not worked. And I won't say it hasn't worked in the essence of like I couldn't work there. I just knew I was not made
You
to
weren't
do
in it.
that. I wasn't
Okay.
I already had my own passion and I kept putting it on the back burner, kept putting it in the back seat for other people's dreams to come true or other
Wow.
businesses to thrive when I could have just been pouring that into my own. So,
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They always say when you are working a job, you're building someone else's dream, whatever that may be. And no knock to people that have jobs because I get it. Like sometimes some people are just happy having a job, which is fine, right? But there are some people that are really not made for jobs, and they really just they can't um they can't thrive in that type of environment, which is fine as well. It's so amazing that you're like, I know I'm not meant for jobs, right?
yeah, and I would say the biggest like as you mentioned stories. This is probably an emotional story. So please everybody don't cry cuz I might cry too.
Oh, okay.
So, my brand was revamped in honor of my mom. So before I was Sans Kitchen and Catering, I was Nana's Drake Paradise. My nickname is Nana. So I came up with that name and I was like, all right, we're doing that. So, before she passed, that's what I was, just doing. I was doing catering and things like that, doing more small events, and I was still working a corporate job. So 3 days after Christmas, my mom had passed away. So my brother called me like, mom's not breathing, etc. And that was a lot for me. Very, very heavy moment for me. Still can be heavy at times. So walk away from I decided to walk away from doing catering and just dealing with food to just kind of get my mental health back in order, which that's where my fiance is a big part of that. So yeah. So then once I realized that, I made a vow to myself, like, God, I need this business to work because I want to always be accessible to the people that I love and the people that love me.
I love that. This is such a great story, and I want to expand on that some more. But what we're gonna do real quick is take a short break, and when we get back, we'll talk more about your journey and what's to come for your
Yes.
business. I want to learn more about that, so make sure you guys stay tuned. We are back. So we were getting to know, for those that are just tuning in, you're listening to WRMN 1410, the Wise Coffee Chat Show. I'm your host, Jennifer Sanchez, and we have LaSandra here with us this morning. We're getting to know her business, how she started, why she's doing it, her love for cooking. And now we're going to ask, like, well, what are the plans for your business? What's to come? What is your goal for the next year, the next 5 years? Where are we at with that?
So I can't say the next 5 years. I don't like to speak and put my foot in my mouth because, like they said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right?
Okay, I like that.
So I will say my goal or my aspiration for the next few years or next year is we are growing rapidly, kind of right before our eyes. So we want to build a team of chefs, which is a
Nice.
common thing that is happening in the culinary industry where there are other chefs that have their own businesses, but also they may not be as busy as the others. So we always want to make sure that we are expanding our resources. And if you're talented and dedicated and you truly have a passion for cooking and for cooking for people, we definitely want to have you on board.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yes. That's super cool that you're doing that. So what's your niche, right? Like there's like chefs that really focus like this is my niche or my niche when it comes to cooking. What's yours?
I won't say that I have a certain niche. I would say maybe my favorite category in doing food service would be more so private chef experiences
Okay.
because it gives me more time to not just pace myself, but if the client or clients have questions on things, how long I've been cooking, what's my favorite thing to make, or whatever the case may be.
Oh, that's
I have
nice.
time to, talk and chop onions, talk and chop garlic, chop whatever, and still have a deep connection in the conversation.
with the client as
Yes.
you're cooking. So
Mhm.
it's not like Valentine's Day and someone hires you to do like a special. It's more like you're there in their home and cooking with them kind of thing.
Yeah, and then like I said, it can also depend on the needs. Sometimes I have a client where, I'm in their home 2 or 3 times a week, and sometimes it's just a one-time thing. And then they usually have an event again and they say, "Hey, we loved your experience, the last time you and your team was amazing, and we want to bring you guys back again to do it." So, very grateful for that.
Wow. And how quick is a turnover when someone gives you a call? Like what is the typical time frame that you can deliver?
I would always try to keep it within same day, no later than 24 to 48 hours. Either if it's myself or Chef P, which is my fiance. We always try to get back to people as quick as possible because, like I said, there is a common thing with entrepreneurs, specifically chefs, that promote themselves and things like that, and sometimes weighing themselves thin and not able to keep up with the flow of contacting the customer.
Okay, I love that because I think, and I guess, sometimes corporations, companies, private, they need to hire a chef to do things, right? So it makes sense that, you can't just drop everything, right? You have to buy ingredients, buy food. I'm going to assume, right? You're going to have to buy all the things, do the shopping and all that stuff too, as well, right? Correct.
Yeah, and the biggest misconception people think when it comes to food costs and everything, I think some people think we have like a magic discount, like when we go to stores. And honestly, we're just about paying, if not more, the same price as an average consumer, depending on where you're shopping at. So it's a lot of research, a lot of pivoting, a lot of, you know, do I need to substitute something to make sure that, it stays within the budget, but still promotes and gives great quality and flavor.
I love that. And you said, and so in your network of chefs, like, do you have a large network of chefs in your community, or is it just like let's say you have this big event and you need more than one cook. And you and your fiance need to bring on more people. Do you do that, or how does that work?
Yeah, and if I don't have it, I'm gonna find it. I'm very determined and very ambitious to expand whatever opportunities that I have to others, obviously making sure that they align with the core values and missions that we have, and just making sure that the event and they represent us very well.
What's your biggest tip you would say when it comes to entrepreneurship? Like, let's say someone's thinking of starting a business, whether it's a chef or they're just like they want to dabble in an area and maybe they're a little bit intimidated, like because you kind of went full on, you went all in. Like, what would be your biggest advice to someone like that?
Ooh, I'm trying not to be long-winded.
No, feel free. It's fine.
I would say, just based off of all my life experiences that I've been through, like losing my mom and kind of just wanting to put the knives down completely, and not even really caring about anything, not even myself. Uh, just understand that what you're feeling is temporary.
I love that you're sharing this. You know why? Because I think a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, don't realize that you will still go through grief just like anyone else. And what do you do? Because when you are like the person that's running the ship, right? You're the one that's in charge. Like you're the one that makes the money and produces the money. How do you take care of yourself in that moment? Because I know when I went through my divorce, I needed a job at that time. There was no way that I was going to be an entrepreneur and be able to hustle and hunt and look for clients while going through a grief, like a loss, right? So what's your thought process on that if when someone that's an entrepreneur goes through something of that magnitude, loss or divorce or whatever?
Um, I would say ask for help. Biggest thing, ask for help. You do not have to do it by yourself. And even if you don't have support, lean on God, cuz God going to come through for you every time.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that you bring a spiritual component to it as well,
Yes.
right? Which is important. So you're big on your faith in your
Absolutely.
business.
Yeah, I mean honestly, a lot of people say even now, like, oh, you're so successful, you're doing it. No, God is doing it for me, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be or what I would be doing, to be honest.
Uh, Look, amen. I agree with that 100%. Sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? And why am I doing this? And God, why did you put me in this space? Because I don't understand or comprehend why you want me here. But you're right. Sometimes it's just leaning on Him and just putting your faith on something greater than you.
Yes, and sometimes it's gonna be hard. I've had those months where nothing coming in, nothing coming in. But guess what? I'm reframing, I'm pivoting. What else can I do outside of the business? What else can I bring to the table? Who else can I help? Who else can I serve? And going into that, that's why I've made sure that not only that I give my all to God, but making sure that I give back to my community. So recently, I worked with Inspire Her Chicago. Shout out to Andrea Mosley.
Nice.
She is the founder, and I make sure that every month, at least once a month on Wednesdays, I go and I serve the young ladies food. And it's something that I really enjoy, and it's a great passion of mine for sure.
So tell us a little bit about this is like a philanthropic thing where you give your time and you cook for them and you give them a meal or how's this what is it exactly?
Yeah, so it's a not-for-profit organization for young ladies. I can't pinpoint the ages right now, but I believe it's from 11 to 19 years old. And pretty much they help them with different categories in life that obviously sometimes you just can't be taught at school or may not be even taught at home. And they have mentors that they can lean on and as a form of a support. So what I do is I come there, like I said, once a month. We set time in advance, we communicate, and I provide them menus in advance, and letting them know what they're going to receive, what comes with what. And pretty much I stay there the entire time and just see the experience from top to bottom, what their itinerary is for the evening.
I love that you're sharing the story because as you were talking, it reminded me of when I was in high school. So I went to the Chicago public school system, right? In the
Yes.
city of Chicago, went specifically to Roosevelt High School. So I was a Rough Rider.
Yeah.
Literally, that was our mascot, Rough Riders. So I remember that they took us on a field trip to like fine dining, and it was only a certain group of us. I think it was just like the cheerleaders. I was a cheerleader and they took us to go experience fine dining at one of the famous restaurants that is in town. I don't even remember the name anymore. I believe the gentleman died, but it was like a real famous restaurant. And remember, inner city kids, black and brown kids, and we're in fine dining in the city of Chicago. I think it was like somewhere downtown or Lincoln Park. I don't even remember where. And all I remember was like learning how to sit, right? And learning how to like what utensils you're supposed to use and learn like the chefs came out and was explaining every meal to us. And we're sitting there like, really? Like, this is so cool. But afterwards, we're like, let's go get a burger from Burger King because I'm not full. Like we were all just like, but what I love about what you're doing with that nonprofit is that you're giving an experience to young ladies who may never or have never experienced that type of fine dining or having a chef come out and prepare food for them, right? Like I would have never experienced it. Like I was used to like going to like fast food or the buffets, right? Old country buffet or going to just any restaurant like chain type restaurants with my family, not like a fine. And now I'm like, I'm always going into, chef experience, fine dining experiences because it introduced me to that. My parents didn't know anything like that. So what you're doing is you're giving an experience to young ladies, which is why I chuckle because it's like, that was me at one point, right? And
Mhm.
like I remember they were like, "You're drinking Fiji water from the Fiji mountains," and I was like, "What?" But again inner city kids, youth. You don't know any of this stuff, and it sounds cool, but now it's like Fiji water. You could buy Fiji water at the store. Like I know where that's at.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what are your thoughts on that with what you're doing with the young ladies?
I would say it's very rewarding. I've always had a heart for children in general. And I feel like giving back to them is letting them know that, you can do anything you put your mind to, literally. There's no limit, to what you can do and what you can achieve. And I feel like me being committed and dedicated to making sure that I provide them with, a professional but fun service for them just goes to show that, you're not let down, because a lot of times kids can be let down, and that's the last thing I ever want to do. I mean, let anyone down, but especially children, because sometimes as an entrepreneur you can get, some entrepreneurs get very big headed and feel like they're too big to
Oh,
give
of
back.
course.
And I'll never, and I always ask God, give me humility through everything I go through, because I don't ever want to be that person that I feel like I'm on a mountaintop so high that you won't put me back in the valley.
Oh, I like that. And you know what? I think that's their people that are like that, entrepreneurs like that, they've always been like that. They just it amplifies success, only amplified money, only amplified their true persona. It was never like they were humble and that's it. No, they were always that person. Just that money and the success and power made them to really expose who they truly are.
Yes.
And that's what I believe, because I believe humble people will always stay humble. Because especially if, like, when you start from the ground up, and you start from you just building it all from scratch, like, especially your personal, I really feel like money and success will amplify your true persona. That's what I'm my thoughts.
Yeah, and then when you put yourself in a posture of that you're chasing purpose and not paper, it's gonna get you in places you'll never imagine every time.
I like that because people will see the genuineness in you when you keep mentioning service and you keep mentioning providing, and like I think it's called there's a whole book on it, but being an entrepreneur in regards to just serving perspective. I've heard that all the time from different coaches. The money will come. Just serve. Just find
Yes.
your purpose. Throw yourself out there. Help someone. Be genuine. I think it's Jay Shetty that talks about it all the time,
Mhm.
right? It's like just put yourself out there and the money will come to you. And I've said this all the time when I work with different people or different businesses. The money will come when you're actually out there putting yourself out there to help someone. When people genuinely see you're a true, genuine person. I feel like you are very genuine as well. Just even talking to you, I love the fact that you have the faith-based perspective to everything, and just you seem just very genuine and kind when it comes
Yes.
to doing what you do. And that's what I picked up when I met you at that
Oh,
at that
appreciate
event.
it.
Yeah, because I remember I was doing like the speed interviews real quick at that above the Lyric Opera at Texas Nexus or Tech Nexus, and I remember my mentor who was there,
Mhm.
Nancy. She was like, "You need to interview the chef." And I remember they were like pressuring me because I had to moderate. And I
Yeah.
was like, I have to moderate on stage right now. And I just remember like the organizer, she was like, you only have like 1 minute left to interview one person. And I was like, oh, I slid you in there. I kind of defied the
Yeah.
organizer. I was like, no, I need to bring her on. Like like she told me I have to interview her. So and I knew my mentor saw something. That's why she was like, you need to put her on. I was like, okay, I'm listening, I listen to my mentors, if they tell me to do something, I will follow, right? So I'm glad that we did, and I'm glad that you took on this show and said, yes, I'm going to come
Yes.
early in the morning to God knows. I don't know how far you live from here, but if you
I
live
live in the Bronzeville area, so
oh, so it was a nice city,
it
like,
was a nice little ride.
yeah, Bronzeville. Yeah, no, Bronzeville's a great area, but I love that you're so now that if someone wants to get in touch with you and get to know you more, where would they go? How would they what's the process that you have for clients?
Usually I tell anyone that they can either give us a call or text, which our number is 779-775-1334, or you can email us at sankitchenco@gmail.com, or you can visit our website, which is sanskitchenandcatering.com.
By the way, you have a beautiful website.
Thank
I just
you.
wanted to
Thank
make sure you knew that
you.
when I looked at your website, I was like, oh, this is a great, and I love your
Yes.
headshot.
Shout out to DRM Agency. She did literally my makeup, my website, and all creative direction. So shout out to Regine Morgan. She did it all. So shout
Yeah.
out to you, girl.
Yeah, no, that was a real that's a very nice website. And I love the fact that you're putting yourself out there, that you want people to reach out to you. We want people to reach out. So if anyone's listening, they need this private fine dining experience or, just a chef to cook, please. I'm super excited to even just hear your story and learn more about you and yeah, I just think so many great things. Do you have any final thoughts or any empowering words that you want to share before we wrap up?
I would say no matter how hard life gets, just keep God first. Keep God completely first in your life, no matter how hard it get, no matter what it may look like. It could be so much fires. I call it fires going on around you. But long as you know that you got God and you're transparent with him with your needs and how you feeling, he's gonna fix it. Everything's gonna work out. It may not work out in the time that you need it, but trust his time and not yours.
Wow, such wise words. I think definitely, even the fact that you're in bronze when you came out here, how far are you willing to travel for a cooking experience or for a client?
So we have been very far. We have been to Wisconsin, we have been to Detroit, we've been to Atlanta, we've been to Florida. So we yeah. We've been all over the
Wow,
place.
that's far.
Yes.
So you're national.
At this point, yeah.
I mean, if you have clients in other states, I think that counts as a national chef.
I'm national.
There you go, and let's hope maybe you'll even get interviewed, even more by more media personas, right?
Yes.
Personalities, and I know some of my students here are excited to work with you too.
Yeah.
So, because I know we have Jennifer. Shout out to Jen over there. She has her own show too, and she does a cooking show. And I know she was super excited that I brought you on today so she can work with you as well. But so I know that you're national, you travel, and you personally and your fiance go together, or do you connect with other chefs out there?
It just really all depends. Sometimes depending on, obviously the client's budget, what we're spending and all those different things play a very huge part. Sometimes it's a situation where, hey, me and him can just spearhead it and we kill it. And sometimes it's where, hey, we need more people, which that's where we reach out to, our team and, expand those resources to others.
I love that. Do you do retreats by any chance?
Yes, I actually just did a retreat with a few CEOs and CFOs. They actually help with anyone that wants to get into business, but it's like a franchise. So they all have different franchises, and I did that in Michigan. Well, we both did that in Michigan City, Indiana, and that was a 3-day retreat. So it was pretty beautiful.
Oh wow, and you provided the whole cooking experience for everybody. So definitely I love the fact that you're doing that, doing retreats, doing those type of spaces. And again, where can someone reach out to you if they're interested in getting to know you more again, or they want to hire you? Where do they go again?
So you can go to my website, which is www.sanskitchenandcatering.com. I know that's very long. Or you can find us literally on every platform. We are, I mean, everywhere. I think the only place we may not be fully just yet is Twitter. But everything else
I,
is there.
I think it's called X now. I
Oh,
don't even
X.
I don't even think it's called, what is it? My
I
students.
guess I'm rich
Yeah.
auntie now.
Yeah. It's
Cause I don't even say X. I just say Twitter.
well, that's how we know it, right? We know it as Well, I'm assuming we're formerly Twitter.
Formerly
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm assuming we're around the same age because I'm on the same boat with you.
Yeah,
So
we just rich auntie. It's okay.
I remember MySpace times. Like,
Okay,
yeah, that
yes.
was the thing. Or Latino Planet or Black Planet or
Mhm.
ASL on Yahoo.
Tagged, all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my generation.
Yeah.
So all this new stuff, I'd be like, oh wait, what's the new platform? What's on? What's everyone on now? I feel old, but thank you so much for being with us, Lysandra. I think this was a great conversation, very inspiring, and it made me very hungry.
Oh,
I'm hungry this morning, so I definitely need to eat something today. But thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for everyone watching and listening. You guys have an amazing rest of your week. God bless and have happy holidays.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.